are here today to say, public lands are here to stay.
Public lands are here to stay.
Parks and forests and refuges.
Parks and forests and refuges.
A natural legacy for our kids.
Natural legacy for our kids. Get out! 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 Get out!
Please get out. Hello everyone, can you hear me? All right, my name's Sean Stevens. I'm the Executive Director of Oregon Wild. I was a little bit worried earlier today and in the days preceding about the rain, but then I remembered that we're all Oregonians. Thanks for coming out on a rainy day to support public lands and public lands managers. We're here today because of some people who, with guns in hand, took over our public lands. But that's just the reason that we came out today. The reason that we're really here is because we all love these special places across Oregon and across these United States that are our public lands. That's why we're here. And very importantly today, we can show the gang that's out there at the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge how you really make a public statement in support of something. Because we're going to be positive, we're going to be peaceful, and we're going to talk about how much we love public lands.
Hello everyone. Hello. A message from Congressman Earl Blumenauer. Okay, I'll speak louder. The Congressman says, "Good afternoon. I'm sorry I can't be here with you today to speak out in support of public lands and the many benefits they provide for all Americans and the natural environment upon which we depend. The situation that has unfolded at the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge in Harney County is appalling and deeply troubling me. The militants who are illegally occupying and destroying refuge property must be held accountable for their actions and the damage they cause. But they're not only destroying refuge property that belongs to all of us, and changing the landscape that is so important to the land's native inhabitants, they also risk the erosion of important relationships between refuge staff, Native Americans, the surrounding communities, and conservation interests. These collaborative relationships, built over years of hard work, benefit the cultural heritage and wildlife within the refuge and have also provided the local community a significant voice in management of these federal lands. So the militants' actions are contrary to what Oregonians, including the residents of Harney County, stand for. In Oregon, we practice collaboration and partnership, not might makes right. They need to leave, and now. They should not be made into martyrs. They should be fairly prosecuted to the full extent of the law. He goes on. We all derive great benefit from public lands. They hold significant value for local communities and across the nation in terms of traditional uses, cultural preservation, fish and wildlife, and outdoor recreation. Whether it's for habitat protection and recreational activities as this refuge provides, or whether it's for employment, tourism, outdoor recreation, or simply taking in the beauty of the landscape, our public lands provide tremendous economic, recreational, and ecological value to our society and improve our quality of life. They should be protected and celebrated, not taken and held hostage.
Public lands in public hands. Public lands in public hands. Public lands in public hands.
Thank you. So I am the daughter, the great-granddaughter of Harney County homesteaders. My stepfather, David Marshall, was the wildlife biologist under John Sharp at the refuge, at the Malheur Refuge. The pond in front of the Malheur Refuge is named after my stepfather. My grandmother was a violinist in the Sagebrush Orchestra that began in Burns in 1912 that became the Portland Youth Philharmonic.
I can't hear you, sorry.
We still own the original homestead cabin and 1,200 acres in Princeton, about 20 miles from Refuge headquarters. We pay taxes there. My family's company makes optical equipment for hunters and birders. I hunt. We lease our land for cattle grazing. I have a life bird list. My husband is a Native American elder and an ex-saddle bronc rider. And we love Harney County. We love the people of Harney County. The Paiutes, the Basque people, the ranchers, the government workers, the musicians, the birders, the contractors, the doctors, the Tai Chi and yoga instructors, and they are there. The writers, the farmers, the shopkeepers, and the artists. There is so much talent and creativity among the people there. And because there's only 7,000 people in the whole county, and they're spread out so far, they really help each other out. Here in Portland, we like to think that we emphasize community. But when you have a whole county of over 10,000 square miles, it's one big community. I want you to know that the people of Harney County are good people. Thank you. So I am the daughter, the great-granddaughter of Harney County homesteaders. My stepfather, David Marshall, was the wildlife biologist under John Sharp at the refuge, at the Malheur Refuge. The pond in front of the Malheur Refuge is named after my stepfather. My grandmother was a violinist in the Sagebrush Orchestra that began in Burns in 1912 that became the Portland Youth Philharmonic.
I can't hear you, sorry.
We still own the original homestead cabin and 1,200 acres in Princeton, about 20 miles from Refuge headquarters. We pay taxes there. My family's company makes optical equipment for hunters and birders. I hunt. We lease our land for cattle grazing. I have a life bird list. My husband is a Native American elder and an ex-saddle bronc rider. And we love Harney County. We love the people of Harney County. The Paiutes, the Basque people, the ranchers, the government workers, the musicians, the birders, the contractors, the doctors, the Tai Chi and yoga instructors, and they are there. The writers, the farmers, the shopkeepers, and the artists. There is so much talent and creativity among the people there. And because there's only 7,000 people in the whole county, and they're spread out so far, they really help each other out. Here in Portland, we like to think that we emphasize community. But when you have a whole county of over 10,000 square miles, it's one big community. I want you to know that the people of Harney County are good people. Just as all of you are.
Yeah.
They love the land, they believe in taking care of it, and they like living in a place where you can see the sky as far as you can see it. and there's no traffic jam. And as Jarvis said, I was supposed to remind everybody that there's only 3 traffic lights in Burns. So, the thing that makes me the saddest about this whole occupation is how it's dividing the community there, turning friends against each other, and how the press emphasizes the problems instead of the constructive efforts that have arisen from the community members to solve these problems. And I'm going to tell you about some of them. The High Desert Partnership is one such constructive process that brings together all the stakeholders, the refuge and BLM employees, the ranchers, the environmental groups, to do things like come up with a 15-year refuge plan that everybody supports. The plan was put in place by involving everybody and listening to everyone. As my husband says, some of you know him, we must learn to listen and listen to learn. Audubon Society was one of the partners in this process. The plan is a model for other refuges throughout the whole United States. These are the positive efforts that come out of Harney County, and they need your support. They will be in place long after the terrorists have left, which in my opinion should have happened a long time ago. Then, good people from the west of the mountains can get together with the good people east of the mountains. Ranchers can continue to work with environmentalists. The Paiutes can return to their sacred sites. The snow geese can safely return to the refuge. And we can all remember that we are a part of a much greater community. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for listening.
Thank you everybody for being here. Together here we stand. I am with the Association of Northwest Steelheaders. We protect the fish and wildlife in the state of Oregon, so do you. We're here together as hunters, as anglers, as birders, as wildlife watchers, as citizens, as sons and daughters, and grandfathers and grandmothers. We are here together to stand in unity against the terrorist occupation that's taking place on our public land. It says a lot that we're here in this kind of weather. It tells the story of what these public lands mean to us as a community, as hunters and fishermen and birders. These are important lands to us, and we will not give them up to terrorists. Everybody here knows the story. They're getting way too many headlines here. We're the ones that are the supporters. We're the ones that fund these public lands. We're the ones that protect these public lands. We're the ones that deserve the coverage on this story. We tell the story of what happens with our public lands.
Throw the bums in jail!
Throw the bums in jail! Everybody knows what we do to terrorists here in the United States. These people are terrorists. They need to be prosecuted. Throw the bums in jail! Thank you everybody for what you do for our fish and wildlife resources in Oregon. The statement that's made here today, the statement that is made here by our people is what will resonate across the United States. We will not tolerate these terrorists. Throw the bums in jail!
Throw the bums in jail! Throw the bums in jail! Throw the bums in jail! Throw the bums in jail! Throw the bums in jail! Throw the bums in jail!
This land is your
land, this land is my land. From Malheur Refuge to Wizard Island, from the old growth forest to the wild growth waters, this land was made for you and me.
one more.
Thank you all for coming out. It's a gloomy day, but I'm not feeling gloomy. I'm feeling hopeful. You all give me hope. And the people on this stage give me hope. People coming together, diverse backgrounds, diverse interests, working together for a better future for all of us. That's the way it needs to be done. Give them some applause. And let's hear it for the people of Harney County who said no to terrorism. One more time, louder. One more time. Let's say thank you to the federal employees who protect this place. We don't always agree with them, but we respect them, and they should never, never be threatened. Never. Malheur's an incredible place. It's a magical place. Hundreds of thousands of waterfowl, tens of thousands of shorebirds, half the world's population of Ross geese, 20% of the world's population of white-faced ibises, the largest population of sandhill cranes in the western United States. Over 300 species of birds use this refuge. It's one of the crown jewels of our system. Teddy Roosevelt set it aside in 1908 because it was under threat. People were going out there and killing huge numbers of birds for their feathers, for the hat trade, for the fashion industry. It needed his protection then, our protection then. It needs it now. The threat on Malheur represents a threat to all of our public lands. The armed, illegal occupation of Malheur, the destruction of public property and wildlife habitat, the threats, the intimidations. These are not political statements. These are crimes. The occupation needs to end. The occupiers need to be prosecuted. Nobody should dignify demands at the point of a gun. It's not just special because of the birds, though. Linda spoke so eloquently about this. It's special because it represents one of the most important opportunities for collaboration in Eastern Oregon. Make no mistake, there's conflict out there. We don't always agree. But Malheur is a place for conservation groups, ranchers, other members of the local community, the Paiutes, and the refuge came together and worked for years to forge consensus and collaboration. Efforts like the High Desert Partnership, the Harney Basin Wetlands Initiative, and the Malheur Conservation Plan lay out a vision for restoring Malheur and the surrounding landscapes that support the ecology of the landscape and the economy of the region. The true tragedy of the occupation of Malheur, because it will end sooner or later, but the true tragedy would be if these crimes were successful at sowing discord and divisiveness in a place that should be noted for collaboration. The true tragedy would be if we did not redouble our commitments to working together and nurture the consensus and collaboration that exists. The best way to repudiate the armed occupation of Malheur is to go forward together while the occupiers watch in jail cells. So I want to read you what we worked on together. This is the vision statement for the Malheur plan, and this was refuge employees, this was the Paiutes, this was ranchers, this was Harney County commissioners, this was conservation groups, a whole bunch of them. A vision of conservation. Together with our surrounding community, partners, friends, staff, and all those who cherish this unique place where desert and water meet. Malheur National Wildlife commits to care for, conserve, and enhance the health of Malheur Lake, Blitzen Valley, the Double O units, including the playas, dunes, marshes, rivers, meadows, ponds that are all part of this landscape. We will observe nature and manage in harmony with ecological forces while recognizing and maintaining the refuge as a key anchor for migratory and breeding waterfowl, waterbirds, shorebirds, songbirds, and raptors. We'll work diligently to improve the health of the land and water, reducing destructive impact of carp and other invasive species, addressing imbalances in floodplain function, and restoring the original abundance of fish and wildlife for which Malheur is famous. We'll celebrate and welcome our visitors, noting and protecting the features that draw people again and again, the expansive landscape, the plenitude and diversity of wildlife, and the signs of timeless history. We will allow and enhance opportunities to experience abundance, solitude, and renewal for people birding, fishing, hunting, and learning on the refuge, in respect to our ancestors and their fortitude. We will carefully preserve the legacies they left behind on this land. Collaboration with our neighbors, partners, and friends will be critical cornerstone in our day-to-day work. We recognize that nature crosses our boundaries, and we can be successful only in partnership. We recognize that our activities are inexorably linked to the health of the local economy. We commit to environmental stewardship and sustainable management. And we commit to learn from our efforts, successes and failures, to be humble about what we know, and to continuously strive for greater understanding in all of our stewardship for this remarkable place.
Wow. Yeah.